All right. Very good afternoon. This is the platform. My name is Elijah Kelvin Murungi, your host for today. It is yet another weekend that we've come to engage yet with you in another conversation, in another topical discussion. And for some reasons, we've been a little bit late, but you'll forgive us for today. But just because of some technical issues here and there, but the program is here. So this is the platform where expression is guaranteed. And for today, we have a senior journalist in studios of Elke Media. But before we get to know the person that we are hosting today, I want to take the absolute honor to thank Beckham Enterprises Limited that are sponsoring this show, and you can reach out to them for any construction materials, general hardware materials, iron sheets, the cement, the iron bars, hose, and all other kinds of construction or building materials. This show is also sponsored by Masindi Coping Hotel, and we are live at Masindi Coping Hotel. So you can reach out to them for conference facilities, for hotel services, that is the good meals, the grounds, the cottages, for accommodation, and very, very many other services. So you can reach out to them on their social media platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on Twitter. You can come physically at Masindi Coping Hotel, that is Masindi Town, Ntuha Road. All right. So today, my name is Elijah Kelvin Murungi, for those that are just joining us right now. And I want to take the absolute honor to introduce to you our guest or our platformer for today. That is Mr. Yosam Guchwaki, who is a journalist attached to New Vision Uganda. New Vision, the paper. And maybe let him introduce himself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for welcoming me to this show. As the moderator has introduced me, I'm Yosam Guchwaki. I'm a journalist. He has called me senior, but I'm not so senior.
Yeah, but of course you're one of the prominent journalists we've had around Masindi. So I think the term senior does you better.
Glory be to God. Yes. I write for the New Vision. I also write for the Cooperator magazine, which is online. I write business articles about trade, agriculture, circles, cooperatives, among other things.
All right. Maybe, Kuchwaki, before we even get to the gist of the conversation, let us start with the idea of trade. So when you talk about trade, I think it is going back now to issues to do with development as a nation. We've had conversations about the parish development model. We've had conversation about the youth livelihood programs. We've had quite a number of government programs that they are trying to put up to see that the young people really benefit, the communities get developed. Yes. Maybe, what about the parish development model? How is it operating lately? And before we get into the gist of the discussion for today.
Yes, thank you so much for that interesting question. The parish development model is not different from other programs.
Okay.
The way people are perceiving it, how it is being implemented, and all kinds of things which are being done, like the trainings and what. The parish development model is like the NADS program, is like a Myoga program, in Tandikwa, and other programs.
Okay.
Because people are told to form groups such that they can benefit. People are told to get organized. People are told to engage the CDOs and the other community workers to sensitize them on how to benefit from the program. So, to me, that program won't have a big impact on the ground because other programs have also not had a bigger impact on the ground. Simply because, to me, it's all about first changing the people's mindset.
Okay.
Because those programs have been introduced very many times. And they normally come during political time when we are going in politics.
Yeah, but this one we've seen it started earlier this year, if not last year. But we haven't had any political affiliations attached
yes,
to it.
maybe that's the difference. But it was also used as a campaigning tool to solicit for votes. You know it better. To me, the most important thing to do first is to change the mindset and to first ascertain why most of the government programs are failing. Where is the problem? What is the cause? Is the problem with the implementers or is the problem with the beneficiaries? Where is the problem exactly? That's what should be done. To me, the issue pertaining with the mindset is the most important thing, to change the people's mindset. Because when these programs come, people think they are political. People think those are government programs. Even if I don't care about a car which was given to me by government, I don't care. So the most important thing is changing people's mindset.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Yosam Guchwaki. I think we shall have another conversation about the parish development model, because that turns out to be a very big concern, more especially when the beneficiaries don't really perceive the right information about it. I think we shall have a conversation deeply about the parish development model. But also, ladies and gentlemen, that are watching us live on LK Media. This program is powered by Tusimbule Midwestern Uganda Festival Season 1, that is going to happen on the 29th, Friday 29th, April 2022. And we are saying we shall be celebrating Midwestern Uganda, celebrating the culture, celebrating tourism, celebrating entertainment, celebrating those talents, the musicians, the artists, the footballers, and the kinds of entertainment that we really have around Midwestern Uganda. But also earlier today, we received sad news from the president. For you that follow the president on Twitter, I think you saw that at around about 1 p.m. when he put it up on his Twitter handle announcing the death of Honorable Jacob Olanya, who passed away at 10:30 a.m. according to the president on his Twitter handle. So it is really sad news for a country like Uganda, and more especially for our 11th parliament. So those that are out there, you can consider sending condolences to the family of the deceased, and also look at how we can really engage as a country to see that we have a fair and good send-off of Honorable Jacob Olanya. So we shall yet give you more details about how and where and when we're going to have his burial. We're going to keep on engaging you closely with that kind of news feed or that kind of information. But away from there, maybe a moment of silence to Honorable Jacob Olanya. So now, away from that, today's topic of discussion, you're looking at the sky-rocketing commodity prices in Uganda, or you can call them the rocketing prices of commodities in Uganda. So we've had this kind of conversation before, though we partially had that conversation, but also with a different individual that was innocent, Turiha Ikayo. But again, this is something that has been so much in the headlines, and it has been something that people have really had concern about, because on the platform we look at addressing issues to do with national importance, and also find viable solutions with the community. So feel free to keep engaging in this conversation using our hashtag, that is the platform, or our hashtag, that is LKM Media Updates. So you can keep on putting in your comments in the comment section so we can be able to read it out here. So now, the striking of commodity prices in Uganda. It started earlier, I think this year, Guchwaki, earlier this year, because we first saw it with fuel. And definitely when the fuel rose, the fuel prices rose or raised, we also saw other commodities as well rising, the prices of other commodities rising. And this is as a result of it has been as a result of the fuel shortages, because on the borders, some of the fuel drivers or those fuel companies that supply fuel to Uganda, I think they did not have good discussions or good conversations with the government of Uganda in regard to things to do with kwegema, that is vaccination. Vaccination. And the issue was, how can we be vaccinated in our country, and then when you get here, people need double verification, and at some point they need to be revaccinated or they need vaccination cards. So I think this is something that turned out of utter worry, and people were not in position to agree. So that is why today we're going to have that kind of a conversation. So Mr. Yosam Guchwaki is a journalist, but also a person that has written so much about trade, and we think is someone that has really the technical know-how of how things to do with this kind of system operates. So let us start from there, Guchwaki. What does it mean for a country like Uganda having this kind of prices up there? And also because if you look at the prices, for example, the soap, lately people are buying a bar of soap almost at 7,000 in some districts. Others have had 9,000. I don't know if they are overrating it. But also, if you look at the price of salt itself, it is clocking 1,000, as others are buying it at 800. So what does it mean to have those kinds of prices in a country like Uganda, where we have most over the 70% of the young people that are unemployed?
Thank you so much for that question. We are all seeing the situation we are in now in Uganda, and really things are not good because the skyrocketing prices have touched the basic needs which you cannot avoid, because you cannot stay without soap. You cannot stay without salt. You cannot stay without at least having a cooking oil. So things are indeed not good, and the person who is suffering most is the final consumer.
Yeah, that is true.
Down there in our villages, our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters are the ones suffering. I want to tell you, people are about to abandon the soap. We're about to go back in those years.
I've heard lately people have, I don't know Ugandans, I think Ugandans move on very fast.
Yeah.
I've already had Ugandans who are already looking at purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're using purpose to wash.
And they were using it in the 1970s. It was being used as soap. People used to use it. But it is absurd because we're in the 21st century, really. Going back to using those things may not be good. They may not be good to our health, even to our items like clothes, our utensils, and other things. But really, it is absurd that this thing is coming at a time when even the fuel prices are increasing so much, are increasing day and night.
Yeah, day and night.
And the most disturbing thing is we are not getting coordinated information from our government officials. That one is very disturbing, because if the president can come out and say that it has been brought about by the war in Ukraine, and yet we saw this price surging before the war started. Another one says because of high taxes on the raw materials which are being imported. You know that some raw materials are imported from outside, that much tax is being imposed on those raw materials. That's why the prices are surging day and night. Then today I saw an article in the Sunday Vision saying that the price for soap is increasing because of low production of palm oil. in Uganda.
Really?
Because it is one of the raw materials used to produce soap. So when we get uncoordinated information from government, where are we heading? Because even if I ask you, Elijah, you don't know the cause of this, the surging prices in our country. No one knows. Because the minister is telling you this, the president is telling you this, the MP is telling you this, the permanent secretary is saying this. So we are in, can I say, maybe a state of quagmire.
We are not confused the place. We do not know exactly what we're dealing with. Yes.
So when we get such information, now this also gives a chance to our business people. Because what I'm seeing now is the exploitation of the final consumer. Because no one has come out to protect you. In Uganda, I think we have a law which talks about
the price.
The Consumer Protection.
Yes. The Consumer Protection Act.
That one is supposed to address the issues of quality, prices, exploitation, those things. But we are seeing everyone is imposing a price he wants on a good. Everyone is doing A, B, C, D. Really, you see, you find yourself in a situation which you can't really manage. So if I've not even seen any government officer or Minister of Trade or other relevant authorities coming out saying maybe you're not supposed to exploit our customers. You move, you can maybe have a price. The price wouldn't go beyond this. In commerce, there is what they call, it is called equilibrium price. Equilibrium price.
That price that
set,
is
price set.
Standard.
Yes. So when we don't see our government coming out to protect the final consumer, things are going to get worse and worse. Because right now, I don't think there's anyone who can save for development. If you are buying a box of soap at 10,000.
And I've heard lately the box of soap is about 70,000.
Yes. Now, more especially as the young people, how will you save money for development, for starting up a business, for doing what? So, to me, this thing, it may also bring about what they call hoarding of goods.
Okay.
Because there is no clear communication from the government.
Yeah, but maybe now at that point it is when the Ugandans would enjoy them more. Does that mean, because, for example, if a bar of soap is being sold at 7,000, does that mean that the person that is actually selling the bar of soap is benefiting?
Yes.
What is that price different? Maybe if you look at the difference in the profit,
yes.
Is he getting it at a cheaper price and then selling it highly at that price? What is that situation?
What is disturbing most, you're finding these business people who are selling these commodities. You're finding someone is selling this bar of soap at 7,000. This one is selling it at 10,000. This one at 8,000. What brings that? That one is also a question, because you're all buying from the same wholesalers, or from the same producers. What brings that? That's where protection comes in. Because some people may use that chance of saying that there is a skyrocketing prices of fuel or
so
what.
That,
they use that chance to exploit the final consumer, the people. And yet, when there is no government, because if government has not come in to protect the consumer, for you have no say. Because even the government is quiet.
Yes. So, Guchwaki, we saw earlier last week the government, the NRM caucus sat, and some of the things that we really expected out of the NRM caucus was to see that they talk about these prices.
Yes.
But what was priority in that meeting was more of how the UPDF is engaging in wars in Congo, more especially in Congo. So does that actually mean that the government is not caring for its people, or does that mean that the war in Congo is more beneficial to the government of Uganda than its own people?
By the way, that was a very big disappointment to Ugandans, because we expected the caucus, our NRM party, the ruling party, to come out with a position such that they can come to parliament. You know, when in multi-party politics there is caucusing to get a position on different matters. Ugandans, we are very eager to hear what had transpired in the caucus. But really, what we had was disappointing. Because at first, we even heard from sources that one on agenda of the issue to be discussed was the skyrocketing prices.
And
but
we
to
were
our
really
dismay,
very excited to
yes,
see what does
and
government do
Ugandans
about
were
it.
excited. We knew maybe we were going to get a solution towards this issue, but what we had was very disappointing, because that one now is no longer news of our UPDF officers going to Congo. They went, yes, they were supposed to report to Parliament first, but maybe, security issues, you can't know how they are modus operandi. But what is at heart, what is at hand now is the skyrocketing prices. Going to caucus, really, coming back without coming out with any solution or a statement, it is very disappointing.
True.
Because really we expected our MPs to sit and discuss. That's why some people say this caucus has it has no impact on people. Okay. Maybe it benefits them, it benefits their interests, because some people were telling you, people tell you, when we go for caucusing.
Maybe let us also go back a little bit. You see, most of the times, things that have come out in the people, or what people are usually saying, is that when these people engage in these caucuses, like the NRM caucus, what happens is they are only there to nod for the big man, because they know that at some point he is the supreme law, and it is always legal because he wishes it.
Actually, I saw one of the MPs from Bunyoro. He's called from Kagadi. He was saying the caucus is like going to church. The NRM caucus is like going to church. You go there, the preacher preaches. After that, you give in your offertories and go. You move away.
You don't ask.
You don't ask any question. That the same applies to our caucus. The big man comes. He says what he says. Everyone nods. They disappear. But in the end, when Ugandans are expecting much from them, expecting to come out with the solutions towards these problems we are facing, but you find nothing really. Because really, what we are going through now is very disturbing, is unbearable. Is unbearable because even it is going to lead to death. Even some children are going to drop out of schools. People are going to die because they cannot manage to pay for the bills. That's the issue. But
so
we need a solution
so Guchwaki, at that point, where do you see the country heading? Where do you see the country heading? Because if we continue to have those kinds of prices, what does it mean to the young people? What do we see? What are some of the negative impacts that we should expect, or the government should expect after this kind of a situation? But also, for how long are we going to have this kind, in your opinion? For how long are we going to be in this kind of a situation? Is it going to take us maybe about 5 years to recover, about a decade to recover? Because some of the things that we had as a country was COVID-19. And we thought that maybe after COVID-19 we were going to settle and then people are going to get back to their businesses. But when the COVID-19 went, or when we left the lockdown, we are now having this kind of issue. Are these series that are really planned to make the Ugandans poor? What are those negative impacts that...
some officials, more especially from the NRM, the ruling party, are saying this is going to take a short time. But in Uganda, we have experienced many things of such a kind. It was in 2011, we would travel to Hoima, and the transport cost was around 4,000. Yes. But when it increased to 10,000, it never went back.
So and we thought now with these roads...
Yes. So our worry is, will these things go back to normal where they have been? Because we are not seeing any sign of these commodities going back to the normal. So now we are talking of the negative impact, which may come with the skyrocketing prices of
Prices.
fuel and other commodities. As I told you, many people may end up not managing, failing to pay for school fees, leading to the school dropout of the children. It may also lead to collapse of some businesses, because if you have no capacity to sustain your business,
this kind of economy.
yes, you may end up abandoning the business because you can't manage. Like it has happened in the when we had the serious lockdown, the two serious lockdown which aimed at combating the spread of COVID-19. In the end, when a business collapses, it means government will also not collect revenue.
That is true.
Will not collect revenue. Many people may lose jobs because when someone has failed to run his business and it has collapsed, it means many people may end up losing jobs. And the most people who are employed right now are the youth, meaning the youth will be the most affected people because they are the most people working in those businesses. They are the people who are studying. They are the people who are struggling also to start a business. So it may also block many people, more especially as the youth who want to start something, from starting. Because if you have no financial muscle, you cannot start a business.
Guchwaki, we started where we were looking at the parish development model.
Yes.
The parish development model is a program that is here to support all the people. In fact, it is not exclusive. Yeah, when you look at this kind of model, it is not like other programs that were looking at benefiting maybe the young people or the women, or this one is not excluding any kind of a person. So maybe those other government programs can be able to support the young people. Are they viable solutions?
Yeah. Those government programs can support the young people.
Are they enough?
Yes, and they're not enough, but they can contribute a percentage. Because the young people who were focused, who had their mindset, which was positive towards these programs, have achieved. Because really, you find government has given you like 30 million, that's the MEOGA program, and you are about to 50 or 60. You can borrow that money and be able to run your business. This program, if well embraced, and we followed its pillars, it is a good one. But if people still have a thinking that these programs which come are not aimed at developing us, they bring these programs as Casimo because we voted
Handshake,
for the big man.
handshake,
Yes,
yeah.
if we still have that kind of mindset, we cannot develop. Because even right now, there are people who took a MEOGA money, but instead, they give you this money, YLOP, MEOGA, it is a revolving fund.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to benefit.
And then
you also
someone
benefit.
else you
Yes,
pay, and then
you
someone
pay.
else benefits.
Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. But you find some people, after getting the money, they divide it there and there. It means you have deviated from its primary purpose. If we follow what is supposed to be done, these programs are very good. That's why I said government need to change people's mindset towards these programs. These programs are very good, but the way they are implemented.
Okay.
For me, I think maybe the implementers have also not done what is required to ensure that there are fruits from these programs. Because really, if you put stringent measures, you monitor these people, how programs are being implemented. If groups are not being formed on a political basis, people, there are existing groups which are doing good, but you'll never see these groups benefiting because some of these groups are formed on political basis. You never supported me, even if you have a good idea, you have a good group, you cannot benefit because I'm here as a politician. Those are
That
the
is
things
true.
killing these programs.
Okay. Our viewers that are watching us live on Elke Media, this is the platform where expression is guaranteed. And we said this program is powered by Tusimbule Midwestern Uganda Festival that is going to happen on the 29th of April 2021, and the tickets are already out, so you can reach out to IOCAM Media. You can reach out to us through our comment section or through our inbox, or you can follow our Facebook page, because there you're able to get our contacts and be able to connect with us. The tickets are at 10,000 shillings, that is ordinary. VIP is 20,000 shillings, and those that need a table, it is at 150,000 shillings. We are dealing with about 6 districts, that is Masindi, Kiriandongo, Bulisa, Hoima, Kagadi, and Kibale. So you can reach out to our team in all those districts to be able to give you these ticket books. These tickets. We also have products on the market, that is the t-shirts and the jackets. So still the t-shirt is 25,000 and the jacket or hoodie is 50,000. And yes, you can utilize those jackets. But also we're going to make a call soon for the artists and also cultural troops, so you can keep following our social media. You will be able to see all these calls, and you'll be able to register for you to be able to perform as an artist, because it is priority. We're going to be looking at Midwestern Uganda artists. Yes, so it is very, very important for you to be able to register. So back to our discussion, Mr. Guchwaki. Now, with all these prices up there, who is responsible? What can be done? How can we see ourselves come from that situation, or even after this situation, to see that we are better people as Ugandans?
Okay, thank you so much. For me, the way I'm seeing, government need to do a lot to ensure that our local industries are supported, such that we are able to produce most of the commodities ourselves here in the country. Because when you hear that some raw materials are being imported from outside and the taxes are much, that's why prices are being increased. It is very bad, really. Because Uganda, we attained the independence in 1962. Right now, we need to look at how we are supposed to sustain ourselves. Because really, depending on outside countries may not be beneficial to us, because those countries may also get problems. You find that they are also now limiting their producers from exporting to other countries, because they also need to feed their people. You may find that those countries which we depend on have crisis, and you cannot depend on them, and you will not take them to prison or court, questioning them, why are you not supporting us?
Why are you not doing this
and
the other?
So we need to come out and ensure that we support our local industries, our local people who are starting. Let us invest money in things which are viable, which will help our country.
But you see,
recover.
Very many young people have really tried to invest in things that are viable in this country. One of the issues that I heard most of the people say, I think it is right now, this is the right time to see that the young entrepreneurs really come up on board. More especially those that have hands-on skills, like the ones that can really be able to make soap, you understand, liquid soap. This is, I think, the best time to have those things on market, as the other bar of soap is really getting expensive. I think a sharp young entrepreneur can look at how can we have liquid soap in place? How can we have this soap that is made locally? Even if it doesn't meet maybe the standards of UNBS, but at least we have that kind of soap. We used to make those things in schools. I don't know if we still have those entrepreneurship clubs in schools, or they died a natural death, but I think they should be able to think about that. And also, what do you think about this country or this government looking at having less exports, less imports in the country and more of exports in out of the country. How does that sound to you?
That's why I told you governments need to support our local entrepreneurs to ensure that we are able to produce most of the commodities ourselves. And also, we need to change our system of education. We need to train people to be more innovative, but not job seekers. Because if you train a child from primary, secondary, up to tertiary, and that child has an innovative element, I don't think that child can become a job seeker, but he will be more of a job creator, someone who is innovative on how to produce different commodities, on how to produce what. And I think government needs to put much emphasis on supporting such a kind of innovators, because we have innovators really. Even here in Masindi, we have people who can make soap, but those groups are not supported. They are not. They can make
or maybe
soap.
they need to put themselves in a position that they can really be identified and supported.
Yes. We have DCDOs in the district CDOs. We have a DCDO at the district level. We have a CDO at the sub-county level. And they are called the community development officers. But really, are they doing what they are supposed to do? Are they community development officers? Or they are
just officers?
Or they are just officers? Yes. Because that's their work. They are called community development officers. They are supposed to stay in the communities, identifying such a kind of groups, seeing how to support them, how to help them. Yes, and not supporting them with the
or maybe the issue could go back to the district budgets. That maybe as they're making their budget, they are not considered. They are not given. We've had issues of these people do not have the transport, and maybe to move to the communities. And now I keep on asking myself a question of a community development officer who is supposed to be in the field. They keep themselves in their offices. And some of the issues that they bring up is that they do not have transport to be in all those areas. Is the transport supposed to be catered for by government, by their officers, or who is supposed to be, whose responsibility is it?
Even if you did a survey today, our community development officers are facilitated. They all have Yamaha motorcycles. New brand from, when you see those motorcycles with red number plates, stroke Y, it means they are from a Ministry of Gender, stroke Y, Yamaha. They have motorcycles, new ones. Even there is a time I took a photo of a motorcycle which had been parked somewhere behind the bank where
I remember that picture.
Where confiscated the motorcycles are kept. I wrote there and said as if a government motorcycle was confiscated.
Maybe it was loaned somewhere.
Yes, those are the issues.
Security.
These people have means of going to the communities. But I don't know where the problem is. You know, most people, when they're getting jobs, they get jobs. Let me also get a job so that I can move out of poverty. So that even if I deliver or I not deliver, after all, I'm doing what? I'm earning.
A question comes, are those officers censored? I mean, not just censored, but do we have a system where they can be monitored and they look at who is doing what have they done, and if they do not meet a particular target, do those people have targets in those offices?
That's the most important thing. And there are people who have been agitating for these government officers to work on a contractual basis. If you don't deliver,
you're out of the system.
Yes. These people have supervisors because at the district level, they have the cow. But these people also have direct supervisors from the line ministries, like the youth, the community department. Has its line ministry, which is called the Ministry of Gender, Labor, and something. Agriculture, they have their supervisors from the line ministry, Ministry of Agriculture. But really, we have these people, but what is on the ground is disappointing. Is not really is not really giving credit to our government, because these are technical people. Let me give you an example. We have agricultural officers, we have extension workers, we have people who are heading NADS, operational waste creation, with degrees, but you find them bringing rotten maize for people to plant. Rotten maize being delivered at the district level.
Because they want to fulfill the responsibility.
You find them delivering maize or seedlings like oranges, mangoes in November. Where is the problem? It means most of Ugandans, most of our civil servants, most of our office bearers are not patriotic to this country. For them, they are aiming at how am I benefiting? This is the most important. They are not looking at someone's future. They are not looking at development, not looking at... So most of these people, I think, deviated from what they are supposed to do.
All right. So as we get to the end of this conversation, of this discussion, something that is really most important and very important is for us to know how do we get out of this situation. And in his conversation, that is Mr. Yosam Guchwaki, he recommends that at least we can look at investing more in local industries. We can look at having more exports and less imports in the country. And also with other strategies, the leaders should get on board, should get on communities to see that they look at developing their communities, not just being officers, but being community development officers. So maybe the last thing we can look at, Guchwaki, is this country, most of the people have really looked at neglecting the situations. They, like Ugandans, we look at, I think these are the usual things, you understand? That today we have this series of something, today we have this thing, tomorrow we have this one. Now, like currently, we're going to have so much the issue of the death of Honorable Lanya, may his soul rest in peace. And then we're going to have some time of conversations about that. I mean, there are a series of things, and there is a way that Ugandans have turned out to neglecting these things. How can Ugandans be more vigilant? How can they be able to engage in these kinds of issues, for them to know that, hey, this is something that is affecting all of us? Can we have, can we have people really come up to say that this is enough about the prices? What can really the Ugandans do?
First and foremost, there should be a political will. Because politics is the center of transformation and change. If we have quality leaders who are deliberating real issues which are affecting the people, I think we can achieve it. Because really we have been seeing these skyrocketing prices. There are very many things which have been happening. But we're not seeing we're not seeing much being done on how to get a solution from our MPs, from our ministers. So there's what we call unity for a purpose. The problem we have with our politicians are most of them tend to politic everything.
Yeah.
Because if an NRM person came out today strongly and talked about the issue of the skyrocketing prices, I think he will be seen as someone who is witch hunting government, which is bad.
They will think now,
yes, now that one is
opposition.
Yes, and yet what is doing matters. You find someone maybe has come out. You know, government also has good ideas, isn't it? But you find someone maybe from the opposition.
Our future.
You find someone from the opposition or NUP supporting that idea which has been brought by government, which is good. But maybe someone from NUP or FDC has come out to support it. You find the public criticizing him that one has been bought, and yet the idea is good. So if our political wing in our country redirected its efforts towards achieving a good Uganda, it can be achieved.
Okay.
And if there is a political will and the president is supporting it and the national leaders, we can be able to achieve that. With that one, we can't fail. But when we have divisions, why are you doing that? This one, No, the most important thing is how Ugandans we should do things which benefit all Ugandans at large, but not for personal interests and other issues.
The thing is, people look at it and
Yes, make favorable policies, make good laws which are really good for the people, but not championing selfish interests. If we have a focus and we have something we want to achieve, it can be achieved if there is a political will in our country. That is all.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Yosam Guchwaki, for that fruitful conversation. I think, let me be able to read out. Let me see. I saw comments here. Michelle Rachel TRJ Butter says, well done, Guchwaki, for that analysis. Yes, well done, Guchwaki, for that analysis. And I can also see Okello Dennis is watching. I can also see Innocent Turiaikayo is also watching. So for those that are going to be able to find this kind of a video, maybe later when you try to preview it, you can be sure that you can leave your comments in the comment section. We can maybe have them read during the next show that we're going to be having. But otherwise, it has been really a very good conversation, and I'm also going to be part of the people that are urging government to see that they come up with a feasible, or they come up with a comprehensive solution to see that they curb the issue of the sky rocketing prices, because for the people that are really down here, they are really facing a very, very big challenge. And now with the students or with the schools that opened, there are a lot of young people that are in schools, and if this is not solved as soon, we might have more school dropouts, we might have more children engaging in illicit behaviors of sexual immorality, the marriages and what, because the parents are really finding a very, very hard time to see that they keep their children in school. Now, as we get to conclude this show, maybe let me ask Yosam to be able to say his last bit of a word to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much, the moderator from media, for giving me this rare opportunity.
Rare opportunity. It's not a rare one. Yeah.
It's a rare one. Because I've never surfaced here. So to me, it's a rare opportunity.
Okay.
I want to thank you for that. And also to urge our government, the people who are in authority,
in power,
do the needful to ensure that really our people are protected from the exploitation, from the ongoing situation, because some people are using it as an opportunity to make money. From the other person, the poorest person, from the village they have some Pakan, there are people who can't manage. The truth is that people who can't manage, who can't sustain themselves now, who are sleeping really without, who are not even washing their clothes, who are not.
And then the government will come out to speak about cholera, to speak about hygiene, cleanliness. I saw a campaign, I think, with in the Masindi Municipal Council with Water Trust. While they were trying to advocate for hygiene, something like that, cleaning the town. But how are people going to do that with this soap that is really expensive? I mean, with even the broom that I think they are supposed to be using that is expensive, and also people are frustrated.
Yes. So that's why I was calling upon the government to intervene and ensure that the situation is rectified. Yes, things happen, but when you come out and you calm the people, or you come and tell them the right thing, you give them the right information.
Yes, it is key.
It is very key. Instead of sitting back and just watching the situation from behind, it is very bad. If you come out here, communicate, make statements, it will be very, very important.
All right. Thank you so much. That has been Yosam Guchwaki, who is a writer at New Vision. My name is Elijah Kelvin Murungi, your host on the platform where expression is guaranteed. Have a good evening. Thank you.